And I got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. I've been learning Spanish. I switched the language setting to Spanish. My girlfriend, her boyfriend, has been helping us. He's Spanish as well. And there's really nothing wrong with living around those people, you know. We did move. We did move away. We moved to a better school district. My wife's son has been doing great. He's been making a lot of great friends. You know, one of my coworkers, he came to me the other day and he said something, you know, against the gay people. You know, I told him there's nothing objectively wrong with being gay. Show me one statistic. Otherwise, I haven't seen any on our science. You know, one bad thing about moving is we just haven't had as many people to practice the Spanish with. There's not as many ethnic restaurants, and you know, you realize we just don't really have culture in America. I really haven't been playing the Switch as much as I'd like. You know, my son, my wife's son with the person of color, he's been playing it more, but you know, I learn a lot watching him play it. And I did lose some money in my last marriage. You know, it was all my fault totally. I suffocated her. I didn't give her the freedom that she needed. But, you know, her lawyer showed me, Mr. Goldstein, he showed me that, you know, it's important to support these women who didn't necessarily have that job where they could support themselves. I saw the other day, one of my friends, former friends I should say, posted something on Facebook. It was a meme, a racist meme, and you know, I just said, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? I'm never talking to him again. I did buy the new iPhone. You know, it's made sustainably. You can recycle them. Less of the components are made in China now. You know, the other day I went to Starbucks and there was a guy he was open carrying a Glock 13, and you know, I mean, that's just blatantly racist, right? You know, right? And I told him straight up, you're the reason all of these kids are dying. It's you. And, you know, he said, oh, you want my guns? Take them over my dead bodies. Sure. No problem. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. I did recently convert to Christianity after, you know, the atheism is perfectly legitimate, but, you know, atheism and Christianity they are compatible if you look at the internet. And, you know, I met up with local rabbi at the recent potluck in my church, and you know, he told us about there's opportunities. You can go to Israel and you can volunteer, you know, your time at a kibbutz for you know, God's chosen people, and you can go farm there for free. I saw the new Star Wars the other day. There's a fine person of color gentleman. He's playing the star. And that's great, you know, there's a love interest there, and I've just been waiting so long for the new Star Wars. It's just amazing. I can't say enough about Star Wars. Star Wars. I did pick up Arabic as well recently, so that has dwindled my time for Spanish, but I have been practicing with my wife's boyfriend in Spanish. Basta para decirle que está bien. Si quieres hacer lo que quieras con mi mujer, está bien. My wife, she is overweight, but, you know, she likes food, and I like food too. And, you know, it goes good with my beard. It really rounds me out, you know. You know, you see these guys, they get intimidated by me. I have been studying more Arabic. You know, I want to be on the right side of history. It's a good thing that, you know, they're coming in to bring new foods I have not tried before. I don't know how to cook that food. Nobody does. They can do it authentically. That's what you get. You see the racists, they're getting really popular these days. It's, you know, they haven't read the history books. You know, we won the war. We know the history. We're taught the history. And we're on the right side. They're on the wrong side of history. Why would you want to be on the losing side of history? I listen to a lot of hip hop too. You know, I've had black friends. I've lived near some black people. I have a couple. I've got black coworkers, and they're intelligent. You know, sometimes I do wish I was black, but you know, my son, he's black, and that's great. You know, we're moving in the progression. It's progress. I think it's important for white people like me to speak out on behalf of the blacks and the Latinos. You know, my rabbi, he's white too, and he says the same thing. Support them, and getting up to where we are. Everything that we have is been on the backs of other people, other cultures. For the blacks, they were kings of Egypt, for example. People don't talk about that anymore. I did have a son with. I had an Asian wife. She was very short, and I'm very tall, and we've made a beautiful son together. And he right now he has had trouble finding girls. He has been a bit troubled, but that's the racist society needs to understand. We're moving forward. I did invest in Bitcoin. I read about it on Reddit recently, and I almost made a lot of money. I'm down. I'm down on that portfolio a bit, but it's gonna get back up there. I know. I'm just gonna hold on, and it'll be okay. I was interested in Buddhism at one point. But I read in the news that they did fight. They've been killing the Muslims. Just appalling to me. I can't support them anymore. I was born in California. I love the state. I did move recently. I moved to Idaho. It's not a good state, but we're going to change that. We've been voting Democrat, and I think that the backwards ways of it'll change. 2 cats. I need more. Always have more cats. I post their pictures on Facebook, and just people love it. They just love it. They just keep killing people in the Florida. These Americans, they killed 50 gay people. The American did that recently. Another American, he shot kids in school. School shooter. We need to take away these guns. We need to put up a stand. Enough is enough of this. I don't know how we get there from here. It's painful, but I did change my Facebook profile to a gay flag. Many of my friends did as well. These racists, people don't think so. I think you need to talk to them. She does. My wife, she does volunteer at a refugee camp. She's been learning Arabic as well, which is great. Bringing back new food. She comes back late. She loves spending time at the refugee camp, and she always has new stories, and there's just a smile on her face. I think it's very important to reach out to the gay community. They're people just like you and me. My wife's son, he had him. He's been hanging out with. We have some gay people over. They play Cards Against Humanity with us, and afterwards they play video games together. And I think he's been learning a lot from them. He's been showing more interest in sex-related things, sex education, and he's been showing interest in a dress and dressing like a woman, and that's great. We post pictures together on Facebook, and they're just doing great. That's a couple. They have their own child, and you look at their pictures, and they look happy. They're just like you and me. We are in 2018. I just can't believe that there's so much badness in the world. These racists. It's 2018. They're still on the wrong side of history. My ex-wife, she was inseminated with an African American gentleman's sperm. We have 3 beautiful African sons, African Americans, and I send them the child support. They're doing great. They're just doing great. There's no real differences between them and anybody else that I've seen. I did see the last Marvel movie, Black Panther. It's great that they're moving towards that. They're diversifying the characters that I grew up with. It's very enriching. People talk about the Jews like they're not white or something. The bankers, they have a higher IQ. It's okay. They run the banks, but it took them a long time to get there. Hollywood. We should have done better. Instead, we just had slavery, and we just rode on the backs of others. You look at Brazil, they've got all sorts of colors, and they've got great culture. They've got great music. They invented Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My wife goes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practice, and she loves it. She loves it. She showed me a couple moves that her friend Jeffrey taught her. It's 2018. We need to learn to coexist. And whites are going to be a minority soon. That's a good thing. Finally the other races get a chance. I still can't believe that Trump won. A lot of my friends, they said they're moving to Canada if he won, and I think that they still are going to do that. And they've got health care up there for everybody, and down here, people are dying.